Hey guys, welcome to the Bird's Nest. Remember, please like, comment, and subscribe. Okay, so it's the first NFL week of the 2025-2026 season, and I have been watching games all day, and so I'm just going to do recaps as I go along. So, let's start with the Browns versus the Bengals. Now, I have pledged to not watch the Browns going forward, and I'm going to stick to that. I'm going to stick with that, but I did watch them today, so let me go ahead and do this recap. The Browns lost by a missed field goal after a touchdown. That is essentially what happened. The score, Browns 16, Bengals 17. Now, if you look at Twitter, Browns fans are very pleased with the play of Joe Flacco. Let me tell you something, guys. I told y'all all along, I've said it in multiple videos, and I do have videos, and I do have a video on the reps. And the fact, and I have said this multiple times, that Joe Flacco was not getting them until Kenny Pickett got injured. Before that, like in OTAs, there would be days when Joe would get 0 reps. Mandatory minicamp, same thing. Training camp starts, Kenny and Dylan are getting all the reps. And then Kenny gets injured, and then Flacco starts getting reps. During OTAs, Shedeur had more reps than Flacco. I told y'all that. The video is there. I got the printouts and everything of the reps that Joe was not getting. So, you know, we never paid attention to the Browns before. But now we're being forced to pay attention to them and see how oddly they move. Like, everything they do is weird. And so that not giving Joe Flacco reps, and everybody was saying he doesn't need reps. He's a veteran. He's familiar with the plays. And I was thinking to myself, but what about the players? In fact, I'm sure I said that in a video or more than one. What about the players? Okay, he knows all the plays. Does he have chemistry with the players? Look, I told you, Shedeur is the one that turned me into a football fanatic. From watching his process. He doesn't just go out there and hope for the best with his wide receivers. He works with them on their off days to get that perfect timing. That's how important it is. Or that's what Shedeur taught me. That is vitally important to that accuracy that he has. The best in college football. That's the key to it. So if he's doing that, working on his day off with wide receivers, including doing that at the Browns with Gage Larvadain and Luke Floria. If he's doing that just to get that perfect timing, how is it working for Joe Flacco not to ever get reps or get the least number of reps as QB1? But that's the way the Browns move. They are strange. And somehow, if you look on Twitter in the offseason, I guess it's a lot of weird people on there in the offseason. I'm so happy the season has started and now the voices are more diverse. I love that. That has given me so much peace because the offseason was terrible with the, I don't know, diehard fans that pay attention to preseason. I never did before. The only reason I did this time is because of Shedeur and his fall in the draft and him not being QB1. If he was QB1, I would know nothing of preseason. I wouldn't even care about it. But it's because of his situation that we were watching. So then we're on Twitter with these people who watch even not as Shedeur fans. And they were kind of weird. Like, it was a very strange situation. So they would say Joe Flacco doesn't need the reps. And I was like, I don't know if that's right, guys. All the former pro athletes that I listen to, because those are ones whose views I value the most, not commentators, especially commentators that were unsuccessful in the NFL or never in the NFL. It's the NFL players and former NFL coaches that I like to listen to. And they said reps are everything. Reps mean everything. Reps are vitally important. And let me tell you what the Browns were doing. Giving all the reps to Dylan. And then Kenny. And then Shedeur, who I keep telling y'all over and over again, he's not really treated like a 5th round draft pick. He got lots of reps. They weren't with the first team. I didn't even care about that. People made a big deal about that. He was getting reps, and I was happy about that because the NFL players told me how important that was and how little 5th round picks normally get. Virtually none. So, Joe wasn't getting reps. So then they expect him to go out there and play with these players and have chemistry somehow. So, they didn't. Joe threw 2 interceptions who Cleveland fans swear on their life is not his fault. It's all the receivers' fault. It's definitely partially their fault. But I don't know. Again, I hate to keep bringing up Shedeur, but that's my favorite quarterback. And he throws balls that only the receiver can catch. It's going to go right in their hand. Even if it come over their shoulder, they have their hand like that, the ball just drop right in. That's how Shedeur throw the ball. Going to try to tell me Shedeur can't play. I don't have to deal with that anymore, though, now that there's a more diverse group of fans on Twitter. So, he threw 2 interceptions that the wide receivers dropped. They don't have no chemistry. Twice that happened. And he's an interception machine, and I've been telling y'all that too, and you know that. I mean, if you know anything about Joe, you know. He's an interception machine. Even Browns fans know that. So you can blame the wide receiver that he has no chemistry with. You blame Stefanski for that. That was his idea, to give that man no reps in the offseason until after Kenny got injured in training camp. That's when Joe started getting reps. So, in the first quarter, Cincinnati Bengals scored 7 points. Touchdown. Bengals are not good either. Let me just tell you that, too. Okay. You see how I watch various teams. I done watched so many games today I can't even remember. But so I get to know who players are. Like, other people have to hear it from what they read, or they don't know it all until the player gets to them. Well, I was watching the Steelers last year, following them for Russell Wilson. And so I got to see them against the Bengals twice. So I get to see the Bengals twice. And Joe Burrow is considered like a top 5 quarterback in the league, but his team cannot win. I don't know what it is about them. Well, their defense is bad, but how long can that go on? Like, you need to fix that. Like, in the draft, you shouldn't be drafting any offensive players. You should be getting all defense until you fix that problem. But they lose a lot. They're losers. And Cleveland could not beat them. Even with that bad defense, even with their horrible defense that the Bengals have, the Browns only scoring 16 points. And you look at the fans on Twitter and they're pleased with that and they think Joe did a good job. It's Kevin's fault. Kevin was calling those plays. Kevin, the same thing he was doing in the preseason, interestingly, he was doing it here. All those choppy little passes. That's good for 16 points. That's good for 16 points. All those choppy little throws. So Joe had a great completion rate. Last time I had checked, and I haven't checked in a while, he was at 100% with those little passes. Bloop, bloop, bloop. The same ones that Kevin used to call for Dylan in preseason. those short little passes. I thought it was going to be something different in the regular season, but no. Because whenever he tried to do something besides short little pass, short little pass, short little pass, the wide receiver was dropping it. Either they're dropping it or getting picked off. So I blame Kevin Stefanski, Mr. Coach of the Year, however he got that award. He needs to be fired, in my humble opinion. He needs to be fired for that rep situation, not getting Joe prepared for the season. For those horrible play calling in preseason. But Daboll was doing it too, so maybe that's normal. Short little pass, check off, screen. Maybe that's normal in the preseason, but Stefanski tried to bring it into the regular season. And maybe he thought it would work with a team that had no defense. Maybe that's what it was. But it didn't. It did not. I have to think that Stefanski is not a great coach. For him to not recognize the talent that he has in Shedeur, you got a first-round pick in the 5th round, and you don't even know it. Or your ego won't let you accept it or acknowledge it. And so you have your best quarterback at QB3 and doing everything in your power to make sure he never plays. Y'all. So Joe got the 2 interceptions and 3 sacks. So the Bengals O-line was doing their thing. But, of course, Joe Burrow didn't have any interceptions. But he did have 3 sacks also. I know at least 2 of those was Myles Garrett, all up on that booty. Myles Garrett is a beast. And he deserves a quarterback to match his fly. No, they gave him 40-year-old Joe. And behind him, rep hogging 5'2" Dylan Gabriel. So Joe gonna stink up the place. This even wasn't even his the worst that Joe was gonna get. This was good Joe. 16 points was good Joe. It's going to get worse. The interceptions will be his fault. In addition to the wide receivers, if they don't come together and work it out. So they lost. And I'm not sad. And I know I said in my previous video that I might not keep watching them, but maybe I will. I want to see if they ever start to gel with Joe. I can watch to see what happens with Shedeur any kind of way. But let me tell you something. This is so all summer they've been dealing with us. They call us the Shedeur cult. They got all kind of names for us. Shedeur truthers, Shedeurians. They call us all kind of names. They like to call us names. All summer they've been telling us how bad Shedeur sucks because Kevin Stefanski and the Browns convinced them of that. They leaked things to the media saying that Shedeur is not bright. They don't say it in those exact words, but they say it. They put it out through their media, called Dylan a computer, Shedeur slower, and this, that, and the third. They put that out there in the media. The Browns, to their own player. And I think it's Kevin Stefanski. And it looks like there's a power struggle going on between Kevin Stefanski and Andrew Berry. Andrew wants Shedeur, and Stefanski, the bad coach, doesn't. So he doesn't want to accept the best quarterback that he has. And he's going to keep playing these quarterbacks that are going to make him lose. Joe going to keep declining. This is the best you're going to get from him. And then I don't know what's going to happen in the next game with Stefanski's play calling. Is it still going to be short little throw, short little throw, short little throw, run, hand the ball off? Maybe when Quinshawn gets there, he can save them somehow. I don't know. Because they're not the chemistry with the wide receivers is not there. So maybe once Joe goes out, and I had already said I thought it was going to be very quick, but then they were talking about Shedeur's not getting no play. If Shedeur's not getting no play, that means you're going to play Flacco. I don't know what most of the season. What's the plan? The whole season, is that the plan? Because they're thinking of everybody else is thinking of it as a 1-2-3 type situation where one quarterback plays for a while. And then they stop, and another quarterback plays, and then they stop, and then because that's how they normally do it. But in a normal team, QB1 is QB1. There's no plan to be playing a backup unless QB1 is injured. That's on a normal team. But so we're waiting for Dylan to play, and he will. I don't expect him to do well because he's been trained on the short little pass, short little pass, short little pass too. And plus, Kevin's calling the plays. Short little pass. Trying to protect them from something. They don't throw good? I don't know. We don't want Joe's arm to go out. We don't want Dylan to try to throw the ball and can't get it over the offensive line and they just going to be batting them down all the time. Do it, Kevin, since that's what you need to see to move on to another quarterback. In the meantime, if you look on Twitter, every team whose quarterback struggled today that didn't want Shedeur, fans begging for him. Now, I'm a Panthers fan. I was going all over town saying we needed to tank last year so we could get Shedeur because that crazy me, thinking that Shedeur was a top 2-3 pick. So I'm thinking we need to tank so we can get Shedeur and get teeny tiny Bryce Young out of here. No. Nobody wanted to believe it. Well, guess what? You look on Twitter today, Miami fans clamoring for Shedeur. Panthers fans clamoring for Shedeur. Multiple fan bases. Even some fan bases saying we need him as a backup to be safe. Geno, Raiders. They want Shedeur. But Browns fans, Kevin Stefanski, to convince them, the ones that be on Twitter. That's not everybody. That's not everybody. That's not even the majority. But the ones on Twitter who were following things all summer think Shedeur is bad because Kevin Stefanski and the Cleveland press went out of their way to make him look bad so that Kevin picking Dylan wouldn't seem crazy. And you got Flacco. They don't really want Dylan to be QB1. They want him to stay the backup, and they hoping that Flacco will do the thing, and maybe they're hoping that Flacco will do the thing until Deshaun comes back. So Deshaun can become either QB1, probably QB1, probably. So Deshaun can become QB1, and maybe Flacco can be QB2. And then Dylan goes to QB3, and no room for Shedeur. So maybe that's what the plan is. Hopefully, some team will think that Shedeur is worth prying him away from the Browns. Clearly, they don't want to give him away by putting him on the practice squad and having somebody pick him off. So, hopefully, some team will be willing to give them something for him. They like picks for them to waste. They got a good defense, though. They got a good defense. They need a quarterback, and they need a coach. That's what they need. They need a quarterback. They got Shedeur, but they don't want him. So find you one somewhere else and let Shedeur go. But you need a quarterback and a coach. Because Stefanski, and I don't know, they say Andrew Berry's supposed to be picking the players, but Stefanski wanted Kenny Pickett and Dylan Gabriel. I haven't heard anyone say those were Andrew Berry picks. Those are Stefanski's picks. Shedeur was Andrew Berry's pick. Stefanski does not want him. So, I expect more of the same from them. The Bengals was their easy game in the gauntlet. This was their easy game. It's getting worse from here. I think they play the Ravens next week. So, I'm not expecting them to win. Even against the Steelers, who I don't think are good. But, Broncos just got a touchdown. Sorry, guys. So, I don't know. That's it. Browns 16, Bengals 17. And Jerry Jeudy struggled today. He dropped one of those balls. He got one of those interceptions. Jerry Jeudy was not good today. Who was there was a I can't remember who the other one was. Like I didn't even see Gage in there. He's second string. With Shedeur, he should be first string. Sampson did good today. Sampson did very well. He did good because he got the ball a lot. He got a lot of targets. Fannin did well. I didn't pay that much attention to the Bengals because I don't know their players like that, except for Joe Burrow. The Browns have some bright spots. I really, really believe that they are a quarterback and a coach away. I know that's a big demand, but they are a quarterback and a coach away from being a formidable team. I really believe that. Kevin Stefanski needs to go. They might need to turn that team over to Reese. Maybe give him a try. And Joe Flacco is not the answer to anything. And neither is Dylan Gabriel, but by all means, put him out there and try. But y'all weren't meaning for him to be QB1. Even though you gave him all the reps like he was a first-round pick QB1. You gave him all the reps. Y'all know that boy ain't QB1. You already know that. That's why you put Flacco in there repless and made him QB1. Totally unprepared for the job. And 40. So, that's that on that. That's my recap. That'll be my, well, that won't be my best one. There's some good games on today. I got more recaps to do. Even this ding-dang Broncos-Titans game. Ooh, this is a nail-biter. And what about that ding-dang Falcons game? Oh, my God. Ooh, another nail-biter. I got recaps to do. This is the Bengals and the Broncos recap. And I'm going to sign off with that before I go on to the next one. Thanks for watching, guys. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Y'all have a good one. Mwah.